Hello and welcome to the PRINCE2 Foundation Projects in Controlled Environments Certification Training from First Career. The PRINCE2 ATO logo and PRINCE2 are registered trademarks of Axelos Limited, used under permission from Axelos Limited. This course is based upon Axelos PRINCE2 materials. The material is used under license from Axelos Limited. PRINCE2, or Projects in Controlled Environments, is one of the most widely used methods for managing projects in the world. It is a structured project management method based on experience drawn from thousands of projects and from the contributions of countless project sponsors, project managers, project teams, academics, trainers, and consultants. The PRINCE2 Foundation qualification is intended for project managers and aspiring project managers. It is also relevant to other key staff involved in the design, development, and delivery of projects, including project board members, members such as senior responsible owners in the project board, team managers such as product delivery managers, project assurance such as business change analysts, project support such as project and program office personnel, and operational line managers or staff. The PRINCE2 Foundation exam is intended to assess whether you can recall and understand the PRINCE2 project management method as described in the syllabus. The PRINCE2 Foundation qualification is a prerequisite for the PRINCE2 Practitioner exam as well, which assesses the ability to apply understanding of the PRINCE2 project management method in context or different situations. About First Career. First Career is an international training company having its offices and training locations in the USA, UK, United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Germany, Belgium, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and many more countries globally. We provide training in popular certification courses such as ITIL4, PRINCE2 Projects in Controlled Environments, PRINCE2 Agile, MSP Managing Successful Programs, ISO 27001, the Information Security Management System, ISO 31000, Risk Management, GDPR, and many other trainings for individuals and organizations. First Career delivers its courses via self-paced e-learning, live online, public locations, and corporate on-site globally. We are an authorized training center and endorsed by leading global professional bodies such as PeopleCert UK, Axelos UK, and Professional Evaluation and the Certification Board of Canada, PECB, that is. You can see the logo at the bottom right. We are a PECB authorized silver partner. About the trainer. My name is Muralidhar Gadam, or Murali in short. I'm a certified trainer and course advisor for various courses such as ITIL4, PMP, PRINCE2, PRINCE2 Agile, MSP, Managing Successful Programs, Exin Verism, Exin ASM, and PeopleCert Scrum Master. I have more than 25 years of IT experience, project and program management experience, and I have worked with global teams in the US, Western Europe, Canada, India, Southeast Asia, and Australia. My real-world experience helps me to deliver trainings. I have supported diverse industries in leading Tier 1 global organizations. By education, I'm a computer engineer. I'm also a certified corporate trainer and coach. I have multi-domain experience as a trainer and subject matter in areas of IT service management, software, project, and program management. Here below, you can see the badges I have obtained through my certifications, which are actively maintained to date. Some of the badges are from Axelos for the Axelos courses, some of them from Exin for the Exin certifications, and there's also from PMI, the PMP badge. About the exam. PRINCE2 Foundation is a 1-hour exam with 60 multiple choice questions, requiring 33 correct answers to pass. The exam is invigilated. It's a closed book exam without negative marking. The exam is tested using Bloom's taxonomy of remembering and understanding only. The exam doesn't test based on application of concepts, analysis, evaluation, or creation. So if you look at the two bottom levels, remember and understand in the Bloom's taxonomy, they are applicable for the foundation exam. Therefore, you need to recall facts and basic concepts and also explain ideas or concepts in the exam. About the syllabus. The foundation exam includes content from the official publication or manual from Axelos, which is Managing Successful Projects with PRINCE2 6th edition, which is the same as the 2017 edition. The exam has a specific syllabus. Therefore, the publication also has some non-examinable content. The course objectives for the foundation course. Understand the PRINCE2 method of project management. Develop the ability to work in PRINCE2 projects or to manage projects using PRINCE2 method. Gain confidence to appear for and pass the PRINCE2 Foundation exam as well as Practitioner. However, note that for the Practitioner there is additional material and training. Expand your knowledge about project management. In this training program, we will understand the following. What is PRINCE2? Benefits of PRINCE2, operations versus projects, project management and performance targets. Projects in context, the PRINCE2 integrated environment, what makes a project a PRINCE2 project? Meaning there are some specific rules for a PRINCE2 project. The 7 principles of PRINCE2 in detail. Then we move to tailoring and adopting PRINCE2, tailoring the themes and processes, tailoring example, tailoring in various contexts or situation. Note that for the foundation exam, tailoring is not in-depth. It is just covered briefly. And we need to understand the meaning of adoption. However, adoption itself is not in the syllabus for the foundation exam as well as the practitioner exam. Then we also cover the 7 themes and the 7 processes in detail. We begin with an introduction to PRINCE2. PRINCE2, or Projects in Controlled Environments, is a de facto process-based method for effective project management. It is used by the UK government and private sector and is widely recognized and practiced internationally. PRINCE2 has its origins in the 1970s from a private company eventually acquired by the British government from a practice perspective and made globally available as the PRINCE2 method. PRINCE2 was last revised in 2017, also known as the PRINCE2 6th edition. It is a generic method, meaning it can be tailored and applied to any project regardless of project scale, type, organization, geography, or culture. And as we know, PRINCE2 is a registered trademark of Axelos Limited because it is owned by Axelos. There are several benefits of using PRINCE2. It is a proven best practice governance for project management based on several successful projects. It can be tailored and scaled as per organization needs, project size, and complexity. It can be applied to any type of project in any industry. It is widely recognized and understood with a common vocabulary for everyone. It ensures focus on viability of the business case, meaning there is a justification always for a PRINCE2 project, and this justification is maintained and reviewed throughout the duration of the project. It promotes learning from experience and continual improvement. PRINCE2 is supported by a worldwide network of exam institutes, accredited training organizations, and consulting partner experts from Axelos Limited for adoption. It provides for the explicit recognition of project responsibilities. There is a defined structure for accountability, delegation, authority, and communication. Its product focus clarifies for everyone what a project will deliver, why, when, by whom, and for whom PRINCE2 plans are designed to meet the needs of the different levels in the management team, thereby improving communication and control. It is based on the management by exception framework, providing for the efficient and economic use of management time. It ensures that the stakeholders, including sponsors and resource providers, are properly represented in planning and decision making. For the exam, you may have to specifically remember this last one, that the stakeholders are properly represented in planning and decision making, as well as the product focus and the plans are designed to meet the needs of the different levels. And the purpose of planning is to improve communication and control. These are a little off track from the usual benefits. of PRINCE2. That's why I have highlighted them. We now look into the concept of projects and project management. PRINCE2 definition of a project. A project is a temporary organization that is created for the purpose of delivering one or more business products according to an agreed business case. Every project is unique, has risks, is cross-functional, and brings change. The fact that projects are cross-functional, meaning they involve people from various functions, lines, or departments, and even other organizations, makes PRINCE2 a temporary organization. And PRINCE2 project exists for the purpose of delivering one or more business products. A business product is an output from a PRINCE2 project. It could be a hospital, a medicine, a railway network, a bridge, a process improvement, an IT system, and so on. And every PRINCE2 project requires a justification, and it needs to be agreed, and that is called an agreed business case. Every project has its own unique way of working, has uncertainties or risks to be managed, and they also bring change. Meaning, once the outputs of a project are deployed and used, they bring change. They create value, they create benefits. Sometimes benefits do occur during the project, but most of the benefits occur after the project goes into use, meaning the products are used in operations. Operations mean business as usual or BAU. These are ongoing, repetitive to sustain the business, and it is in operations where most of the benefits are accrued. Here we have examples comparing projects and operations. Examples of projects are building a hotel, developing an IT system, whereas for the same project outputs, the operational examples are managing the hotel on a daily basis, using the IT system in a bank's daily work. We now pause here for you to make note of any questions or any learnings or other things to explore afterwards on your own. We now look into the 6 performance aspects or targets for a PRINCE2 project. There may be other targets as well, but these are the PRINCE2's required targets. These are the aspects of project performance to be managed and controlled. Time or time scales, costs, scope, quality, risk, and benefit. Let us take an example for these 6 targets. Note that the targets may also have certain tolerances or a range, a minimum range and a maximum minimum threshold and a maximum threshold, creating that range. Cost. An example of cost could be 10 million British pounds with a change budget of 1 million and the risk budget included in the cost. This could also have a tolerance, for example, plus 50,000 and minus, let's say, 100,000. It is interesting to note that tolerances can have a negative range also, which means a project should not go below a certain number for cost. We will see why tolerances are important afterwards. Timescales. This is a 12-month project with a specific start and finish date. The quality. Quality means the criteria or the requirements to be fulfilled. This is just one line from the requirements documentation. The financial system should be able to handle reconciliation of 10,000 transactions daily. Scope means the outputs to be delivered. In this case, the main output is a financial reconciliation system. This may have several subsystems or several components or parts, which can also be defined in the scope. So as we see clearly here, scope is about the outputs, whereas quality is about the set of requirements or specifications. Benefit. In this case, the benefit target is 90% reduction of financial processing errors after 2 months of product rollout, which means when this financial reconciliation system is used, it is expected that will reduce the errors of financial processing in about 2 months' time. The uncertainty or the risk in this project is potential delay in monthly reporting due to focus on transaction information accuracy, which may have other consequences in the organization. Now note that there may be more than one risk. This is just a simple example. We look into the definition of project management in PRINCE2. Project management is made up of 4 parts in PRINCE2. It is about planning, delegating, monitoring, and controlling of all the aspects of the project, those 6 performance aspects at least, and the motivation of those involved, which means providing leadership and motivation to achieve the project objectives within the expected performance targets for time, cost, quality, scope, benefits, and risks. We see this clearly here in this picture: plan, delegate, the plan tasks, monitor, and then control. The next topic is projects in context, meaning projects in different situations, and the PRINCE2 integrated environment, which is made up of 4 components or 4 parts. Every project has a customer and 1 or more suppliers. The customer specifies the desired results, issues the project mandate or the trigger for a PRINCE2 project, governs the project, meaning provides direction, and realizes the benefits. Supplier provides the resources and skills to deliver the result. It is important to clearly note the difference between customer and supplier. The customer may be an external customer. It could also be internal, somebody from the corporate, that is higher level management, for example, program management, portfolio management, which leads us to definitions of program and portfolio. A program is a temporary, flexible organization structure created to coordinate, direct, and oversee the implementation of a set of related projects and activities in order to deliver outcomes and benefits related to the organization's strategic objectives. So we see here that a program is a collection of projects, and these projects need to be related. And through this collection, certain outcomes and benefits will be derived, which are not possible by individual projects, but only through the combination of related projects. And these benefits eventually help to realize strategic objectives of the organization. A portfolio is a totality or the collection of an organization's investment, or a portion of it, or a segment of it, in the changes required to achieve its strategic objectives. Which means portfolio is a collection of programs, projects, operations. In program, the word activity can mean operations and other activities. Most projects are in a commercial environment, meaning a customer-supplier environment, which means there may be multiple business justifications or business cases, one from the customer and others from the suppliers. There may be several management systems, governance mechanisms, organization structures, delivery approaches like waterfall, agile, or mix of both, and various corporate cultures, which makes it challenging or demanding to manage projects with multiple organizations involved. We also look into the concept of waterfall, agile afterwards. We have an example of program and portfolio here. On the extreme right, we see an IT upgrade project, which is supposed to upgrade an existing IT. There is also the process re-engineering project. Maybe there are some processes to be improved. Then there are enhanced IT operations, which means operations need to be improved using the improved procedures and the IT upgrade. And when we combine all this, it creates a sort of transformation program, which may yield certain benefits, for example, more customers or improved customer satisfaction, or even more revenues or additional users or customer base increase. We also have the automation project, which is a separate project on its own without being part of a program, but directly reporting or part of the portfolio. Portfolio meaning the collection of all the project programs, operations, and other activities within the organization. And we call it here a digital portfolio as an example, which means it is the portfolio management which will decide which projects are required, which needs to be stopped or put on hold, which programs need to be started on or need to be stopped, which projects will be part of which programs, and how operations, what kind of operations are required. All these are decided by the portfolio. And the portfolio is also responsible for providing a continuous supply of resources like people, materials, investment, etc. The four integrated elements of PRINCE2. PRINCE2 is made up of four main components known as integrated elements. These are the 7 principles, the 7 themes, the 7 processes, and the project environment, also known as tailoring or customizing. The 7 principles. The principles are like obligations to be adhered to. They cannot be avoided. They are compulsory. Principles are understood from previously successful projects. These are continued business justification, learn from experience, defined roles and responsibilities, manage by stages, manage by exception, focus on products, and tailor to suit the project. At the moment, we just look at these 7 principles, but we look at them in depth afterwards. The themes. 7 is a magic number here. So there are 7 themes, just like 7 principles. A theme is an aspect of project management that must be addressed continually as the project progresses through its life cycle. The themes are business case or the justification, organization or the project team structure, quality, the requirements that is, plans, risks, risk theme, that is, change theme, which takes into account requests for changes and issue handling, and the progress theme for progress tracking and control. There may be other themes in specific projects, but PRINCE2 requires these 7 themes. All 7 themes must be applied to every project. All 7 themes should be tailored to make sure they are being applied appropriately. Tailoring should reduce the burden on the team without losing the theme's value. We'll look at tailoring and get more clarity on that afterwards. The 7 PRINCE2 processes. PRINCE2 has a process-based model or approach for project management, which means a PRINCE2 project has a specific flow or sequence, and they may be looping within that sequence. PRINCE2's definition of a process. A process is a structured set of activities designed to accomplish a specific objective. It takes into account one or more defined inputs and turns them into defined outputs. Purposes of all processes must be met. Processes may be tailored in various ways to suit the project. We will look at the purpose of every process and the objectives of every process later on. These processes provide all the activities required to direct, manage, and deliver a project successfully using a process flow. Every PRINCE2 project begins with starting up a project process and ends with closing a project process. And in between, it goes through these processes one or more times. Directing a project, initiating a project, controlling a stage, managing product delivery, managing a stage boundary. Initiating a project also happens only once. Therefore, starting up a project, initiating a project, and closing a project are triggered only once in a PRINCE2 project. What makes a project a PRINCE2 project? To be a true PRINCE2 project, the 4 conditions apply. First, all the 7 principles must be applied. No principle can be skipped. Secondly, the minimum requirements of all 7 themes must be met. A theme in PRINCE2 provides certain guidance for that theme. While there is extensive guidance, not all the guidance is mandatory because it depends on the nature of the project, on what guidance need to be applied. But there are some minimum guidances to be applied, and those are known as the minimum requirements. Therefore, the minimum requirements of each of these 7 themes need to be met. Every process has a purpose and several objectives. The objectives and purpose of all the 7 processes must be met, which means it is not about the number 7, because you might have less number of processes or more number of processes in your own project, but as long as they meet the purpose and objectives of these 7 PRINCE2 processes, then it is a PRINCE2 project, as long as the other conditions are also being met. Therefore, once again, it is not that you need to have exactly 7 themes. You may have less number of themes and more number of themes because you may combine themes or you may have additional themes. But as long as your themes, your PRINCE2 project is meeting the minimum requirements of these 7 themes, it is a PRINCE2 project. Which means PRINCE2 gives you flexibility to add or remove while keeping the minimum constraints or rules in place. Because if you remove all the rules and give total freedom, then there is a high likelihood of project failure. And the last condition is the project must use PRINCE2 equivalent or similar techniques. There are several techniques in PRINCE2. These are the techniques or approaches in PRINCE2 which you need to know for the exam, and we will cover them in this training. In the quality theme, we have the quality review technique. You need to know the basic concepts at the foundation level. At the practitioner level, you need to know a little bit more on how to apply them. The plans theme has the product-based planning approach. The risk theme has the risk management procedure. The change theme has the issue and change control procedure. So the condition was that to be a PRINCE2 project, these techniques or approaches must be used, or something similar may also be used. There are some techniques provided in the PRINCE2 guidance or manual which are not part of the exam syllabus. So you need not know them, but just for information, here they are. In the business case theme, there is the investment appraisal technique or techniques. In the plans theme, we have the prioritization technique known as the Moscow technique, estimation techniques, and scheduling techniques. However, Moscow being a highly recommended, a highly popular technique, it is highly recommended to be studied for the exam. The progress theme has the progress evaluation and peer review technique. The risk theme also has the risk identification and assessment techniques for estimation and evaluation. Except for the Moscow technique, you don't have to know the other techniques on this slide for the exam. Therefore, once again, what makes a project a PRINCE2 project? Let us summarize that. All the 7 principles must be applied. The minimum requirements of all 7 themes must be met. The objectives and purpose of all 7 processes must be met. The project must use PRINCE2 equivalent or similar techniques. We now practice some sample questions from the Axelos official sample paper number 1. You will find all learning materials in the learning management system. So you'll be able to find the Axelos official sample papers in your learning management system account provided by One World Training. They are also available at the Axelos official website, axelos.com. Also note that the exam syllabus is also available at the Axelos website. I will take you through various other things such as the Axelos website, the syllabus, the marks allocation, and where to purchase the manual from, and exam tips, other references, meaning going through the LMS, understanding how to navigate through the LMS, and about the PRINCE2 membership from Axelos and the usage of the PRINCE2 manual. I'm going to cover all this in another recording. The exam is usually online unless you are physically writing it at a training center. As mentioned before, the exam has 60 questions. Each question is worth 1 mark. There's only 1 correct answer per question. There is no negative marking, fortunately. You need to answer 33 questions correctly to pass the exam. When you write a paper-based exam, in a rare situation, there'll be an OCR paper form, optical character recognition form, on which you have to mark the answers in circles using a pencil. It's a closed book exam. Given that you have 1 hour for 60 questions, it's a good challenge. You got about 1 minute per question. So you should be able to Attempt some questions in less than a minute because some questions might take you more than a minute. Let us begin with question number 29. Which characteristic distinguishes a project from regular business operations? In this question, it is about comparing projects with business operations or business as usual. You might recollect that business as usual is repetitive and ongoing. The four options are A, it produces benefits, B, it introduces business change, C, it manages stakeholders, D, it incurs cost. So which one do you think separates a project from regular business operations? Option A, produces benefits. Projects produce benefits, operations also produce benefits. Though most of the benefits are produced during operations, during a project life cycle, some benefits may still be achieved. Option B, it introduces business change. Projects introduce business change. Operations do not introduce business change. They do derive value, outcomes, and benefits, but changes are not introduced because operations are ongoing, repetitive. Manages stakeholders. Both projects and operations have stakeholders which have to be who have to be managed. Both projects and operations incur cost. So the correct answer is B. The next one is number 37. Which aspect of project performance must be managed in order to have a clear understanding of what the project is to deliver? You should recollect the 6 performance targets or aspects of a PRINCE2 project. Let us see which one of the below is about what the project should deliver. A, time scale, B, scope, C, risk, and D, costs. At first look, all of them seem to be performance targets or aspects. Time scale, scope, risk, and cost are 4 of the performance targets. The others being quality and benefits. However, time scale, risk, and cost do not connect to what the project will deliver. It is in fact scope which defines what the project will deliver, or the various components or outputs, or a major output the project will deliver. Therefore, B, scope is the correct answer. The next question, number 38, which is one of the 4 integrated elements within PRINCE2. A, quality, B, role descriptions, C, processes, D, product descriptions. You might recollect that the 4 integrated elements are the 7 principles, the 7 themes, the 7 processes, and the project environment or tailoring. Therefore, quality is incorrect. Quality is one of the 6 performance targets or aspects. Role descriptions is incorrect. Product descriptions also incorrect. And processes is the correct answer. You need to be cautious about the differentiating between the 6 performance targets or aspects versus the 5 characteristics of a project versus the 4 integrated elements. Just to recollect the 5 characteristics of a project. A project is temporary, it is unique, cross-functional, it drives change, and it has risks. We now do a last practice question. Number 45, which is a benefit of using PRINCE2? A, it provides established and proven best practice and governance for project management. B, it includes techniques for critical path analysis and earned value analysis. C, it enables a project manager to be accountable for the success of a project. D, it prevents any changes after the scope of a project has been agreed. Do you recollect which one of these is a benefit? Option A is correct. PRINCE2 project, among other benefits, provides established and proven best practice and governance for project management. It does not include techniques for critical path analysis and earned value analysis. These are mentioned in the guidance or the manual, but not explained. Critical path analysis is explained briefly though. And C is incorrect because it is not the project manager who is accountable for the success of a project. And this is also not a benefit specified by PRINCE2. though it is part of PRINCE2. Option D may be part of PRINCE2, though it is not a benefit, that it will prevent changes after the scope has been agreed. It should be possible to derive changes after the scope has been agreed, provided there is a formal change control procedure or mechanism. And that brings us to the end of section 1 of PRINCE2 Foundation training. Thank you for listening.